You cannot sit back and wait for a savior. You can't opt out because you don't feel sufficiently inspired by this or that particular candidate. This is not a rock concert. This is not Coachella. We don't need a messiah. All we need are decent, honest, hard-working people who are accountable and who have America's best interests at heart.
So, if we throw out the soteriology, we throw out the doctrine of salvation, we say we don't, there's many ways to do this, and they might not all lead to the same place, but they all lead to manifesting a better physical world. And we start to look at the mechanics behind some of these practices, behind Christian prayer, behind Buddhist meditation, behind magic, behind yoga, behind any of these sort of things, witchcraft, XY, whatever. And we understand that these mechanics allow a transmutation of the self so we can manifest bigger, fuller, better lives. Then we come to the realization that we are all on the same team. All of us, every single one. But it requires that we throw out something called the soteriology, the doctrine of salvation.
In order to avoid falling victim to these spells, we must be able to identify them quickly and accurately. Every time you turn on the TV, they're casting a spell. Modern-day witches and occultists cast spells through a variety of methods, most of which are hidden in plain sight for all to see, yet they go completely ignored by the general public. One of the most common forms of black magic we are subject to is called lesser magic. Lesser magic, in its most basic form, is the implementation of the magician's will through the use of applied psychology and manipulation tactics.
Thing is, you speak for a consensus of reality which is acceptable. We speak for one which at this point in history is not acceptable. So it's just a question of who manipulates the media, who has the most money to put their reality forth.
Predictive programming, subliminal messages, and subliminal manipulation are all widely used today and can be found in just about every form of entertainment.
A U.S. Daily story about subliminal messages. I don't think we need to be subliminal.
Have you ever been fascinated by something? A movie, a TV show, a music video, a painting, or a song? If you answered yes, there is a high likelihood that you have fallen victim to lesser magic. Quote, "The word fascination has an occult origin. Fascination was the term applied to the evil eye. To fix a person's gaze, in other words, fascinate, was to curse them with the evil eye." End quote.
This is a classic case of programming the youth. Take a look.
Now, first of all, lad, we've got to get all these medieval ideas out of your head. Clear the way for new ideas. Knowledge of man's fabulous discoveries in the centuries ahead. Now, that'll be a great advantage, boy.
Advantage indeed. If the boy goes about saying the world is round, they'll take him for a lunatic.
The world is round?
Yes, that's right. And it also goes around.
You mean it'll be round someday?
No, it's round now. Man will discover this in centuries to come. And he will also find that the world is merely a tiny speck in the universe.
universe?
You're only confusing the boy. Before you're through, he'll be so mixed up, he'll be wearing his shoes on his head. Man has always learned from the past. After all, you can't learn history in reverse. It's confusing enough, for heaven's sakes.
All right. Have it your way, Archimedes. You're in charge.
So many flat earth references when it comes to movies. This one going back in time all the way to 1963 with the Disney movie The Sword in the Stone.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Det jeg ikke har tid til, er å diskutere hvorvidt jorda er flat eller ikke. Jeg ikke har tid til å diskutere hvorvidt jorda er flat eller ikke.
So, Oscar, you asked the question, what are some of the easiest ways that you can prove that the Earth is round? Because apparently this is something that we're debating. I have no idea why. That's a hard thing for me to even start talking about because there are so many proofs that the Earth is round, it's difficult to know where to start. And it's not okay to think that the Earth is flat. This is not a viable argument. I have friends who have been on the International Space Station. They have orbited the Earth once every 90 minutes.